And look at that. We are live. I am 4 minutes early this week. Just because it's the day after the holiday doesn't screw me up. I'm always on time. Sometimes I'm early.
Your Ja Rule,
It's
always on time.
it's an East Coast thing. It's just something I do. I got Diet Shack here with me.
Don't call it.
I
Don't
still
call it
love
a
that
comeback.
joke. Yeah,
Don't call it a comeback.
don't call it a comeback. I guess it's like for me, it's almost a comeback because I missed Entitled Weekend this week. But don't worry, the boys did a good job without me. Shaq read my final thoughts off at the end. Someone
I,
had to.
yeah, I had to splice it in because I was so busy doing the pod. I was like, oh, I forgot Steve. So
But yeah, we'll go into yesterday's games. First of all, I hope you all had a better holiday than I did. I can't stand this day. I can't stand this weekend. Basically, from my house, we have this. We have a large gathering, a large group of people with various undiagnosed mental illnesses gather at my house to eat dinner and exchange poorly thought out gifts. Yeah, I got a deck. God, I hope none of my family's watching. I got a deck of Patriots playing cards. My aunt said, "Well, I know you're into sports gambling."
that's got to be a troll.
Not quite what that is, but okay. Thank you.
I mean, gambling if you're in Las Vegas, maybe, but
Yeah, I've never really been into. I don't really play cards. I don't. It's not my thing. But I don't know. I don't know how that's really sports gambling. In fact, I don't think it is.
it's not.
Yeah, no, it's not. Just because it has Patriots players on the cards. But yeah, last night. So we had the Packers and the Browns, which this was a way better game than it should be. The Packers have a problem with letting teams hang around in games, and we've seen this for a few weeks. I've seen Packers fans on Twitter talk, "Oh, it builds character for the team." Yeah, it does. When you're doing it every week, it's a bit of a problem because the Browns didn't look good. Baker Mayfield looked bad.
Yeah,
Baker Mayfield looked really bad last night.
4 picks last night. That was and a couple were just horrible.
And I'm all right. So that last pick, this should have been a holding call.
Yeah, well, yeah,
absolutely should have been a defensive holding call. It is egregious that the referees missed that. At the same time, this is a game that the Packers should have won handedly. It should not have been a 2-point game because Baker Mayfield looked atrocious that first half. Some of Dan Orlovsky has broken down a few of his things. I like Dan Orlovsky when he does quiet, not manic breakdowns.
I don't watch that 4-letter network, so I wouldn't know.
I only see it when Dan Orlovsky puts it on Twitter himself. I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't watch the network. But yeah, I mean, some of them were just forced throws. That deep ball down the field into double coverage. He had a guy wide open on a crosser in the middle of the field. He completely forced that. I mean, he didn't look like he was setting his feet right. He didn't look like his left shoulder. I know they had the brace. They pointed it out during the game. It didn't look like he was widening his arm up enough throwing to that other side of the field. And that's probably got something to do with the injury. But he looked bad. And if you can't open your arm up enough to throw the ball to the left, maybe you shouldn't be playing. Your season's it's not really like you're going to the playoffs and making a run anyway if you're Cleveland. You know what I mean?
No.
You're
last in the division. There's nothing really to do.
Yeah,
I out the last 3 games.
If Baker's that hurt that he can't throw the ball right, and I mean I don't know what Cleveland's gonna do next year with his contract, but if Baker's not throwing, if Baker's so hurt that he can't open his spread his arms enough, open his body up enough to throw the ball right, maybe he shouldn't be on the field.
And speaking of hurt, I mean Aaron Rodgers too. I mean he was kind of limpy and gimpy during that whole game. So
Yeah, and I'm surprised he hasn't talked about it yet.
yeah, he hasn't said anything. Like
He hasn't brought it up. And I'm amazed. I'm almost
they couldn't
wondering if it actually happened.
Like Fox couldn't get away from looking at him when limping, and it was almost like a meme. Like it looked pretty bad.
It did. He played good. He did play a good game though.
He did.
He's not my MVP of the league. He's playing a good season. Then we had the Colts and the Cardinals for the night game. Now as a Patriots fan, I like seeing the Colts actually not come out flat like I thought they would. As much as I wanted to see them lose.
Yeah, they came right out the gate.
It makes me feel better about the game last week because they came right out the gate hot.
Jonathan Taylor with I think was a 40-yard carry, like right in the beginning.
Yeah, and I saw someone said to me earlier, if you take out that carry early on the game, you only had 26 carries for 65 yards or something. I mean, yeah, I guess that's not great. It's not bad. I also don't take out the best play of the game when I count player stats. But I mean, some of the runs late in that game that weren't huge plays, huge gainers. Oh, big plays, big conversions on third downs at times that he should have been tackled. there was one of the third downs that he should have been tackled at the line of scrimmage, and he got the first. Honestly, after the way the last 2 weeks have gone on, right now Jonathan Taylor is my MVP.
I was just about to say that. I would not be surprised. Like if he's not the current MVP at the moment, he's in the discussion. He's top 3 at least.
100% has to be in the discussion. I can understand. Again, I wouldn't be too surprised if it didn't go to him because he is a running back and it's normally a quarterback award.
But see, if they would get because if the way Derrick Henry was running before he got hurt, everyone was talking about Henry for MVP. So this
is one of the things I'm thinking about too is look at how all the praise that Jonathan Taylor's getting. Derrick Henry going into this week was still 5th in the NFL in rushing yards.
Unbelievable.
Jonathan Taylor is incredible. Jonathan Taylor is my MVP of the league at this moment. And he is not the best running back in the NFL. The best running back in the NFL is hurt.
Yeah.
We honestly were almost robbed of what could have been one of the best seasons ever.
I think
that Derrick Henry was having.
It would have been a 2,000-yard season. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I don't see any way that it wouldn't have been. I'm not taking anything away because Jonathan Taylor is a great player.
He's a beast,
but he's making that Indianapolis offense run. He's making them click. Carson Wentz did not look bad last night. I have to say that.
Yeah, he made some good throws.
He did. He looked more comfortable and poised than I've seen him most of the time with Indy this year. And Arizona they look out of it.
A lot of mistakes, man. So many penalties.
The penalties, the miscues, no one on that offense looks on the same page.
You know why? 2 words. What's his name? DeAndre Hopkins. That he is what makes their offense go. And without him, it's just whatever. I mean, Chase Edmonds was pretty good, but
Edmonds had a good game for the first time all year. But I mean, they really I understand you're missing DeAndre Hopkins, but you're supposed to be better than that, Arizona. And I mean, this is something that I keep seeing with Arizona every year. Is they start out hot and then they stumble at the end of the year.
Yeah. And by the way, Matt Prater, what happened? Missed 2 kicks.
Oh my God.
That could have been a difference in the game. Actually, it was a difference in the game.
It was the difference. Yeah, I was looking at that this morning. But that doesn't take anything away from Indianapolis. They played a good game. Missing a guy like Quentin Nelson on the offensive line and still having your running back run for 100 yards is a big deal to me. That says a lot about the depth of that offensive line.
And now everybody's sucking Frank Reich's dick again. So it's a great week.
Yeah. He's Frank Reich's having a great 2 weeks. It will all come crashing down eventually, and they'll hang a banner for something. So yeah, we'll jump right into today's game picks. Don't forget, folks, this episode is brought to you by Glitch Energy. Use your code BCMG for 25% off today. Yes, that's right. We're kicking off the holidays by getting you more money off. That's how good we are here at BCMG. It's all about you.
Good to get great money, especially now.
Hey, extra 5% off. That's a big deal to me, Some of us are built like that. All right, well, I guess we'll jump right into, since it's the first game on DraftKings anyway. Patriots Bills 1:00.
Which to me is robbery. I mean, I love 1:00 games. I love them, but man, whoever the network is, CBS, like they missed out because this is.
Well, and the thing is that I know they can flex these games. I like 1:00 games.
I love 1:00.
I prefer 1:00 games because I hate staying up for 8:30 games. Yeah. I hate staying up until 11:30, 12 o'clock, and then trying to go to bed to have to wake up at 4 o'clock.
Yeah,
it doesn't. It's 4:30. I'll give the other half hour I get. 4:30, I got to wake up. It's still not good.
Just get the game over.
But I don't understand why you didn't flex this game when you can, and you insist on putting the Chicago Bears in primetime 2 weeks in a row for the last 2 weeks. But you don't flex this game in a prime. It's mind-boggling. A 1-point spread in that game. Obviously, Vegas thinks this one is going to be close. I think it's going to be fairly close. I do think the Patriots will win. I think probably. I mean, it's a 1-point spread. They're covering 1 point. I think they'll probably win by a touchdown in this game. Kevin Kendrick Bourne was activated off COVID. That huge. So Damian Harris has been cleared to play,
which is also big.
That is big. Either way, if Bourne wasn't playing, I think to me, not having Cole Beasley and Gabriel Davis is more of a loss for the Buffalo Bills than not having Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar would have been for the Patriots. Because Gabriel Davis has been playing good.
Yeah, he's
been a big part of that. And Beasley's not great. Let's not get into his vaccinations. He's not an outstanding player, but he's a solid player.
Serviceable.
And now the thing is that you have both of them out, and you just got Stephon Diggs. Well, now we can put JC in a shadow even on Diggs and not really have to worry about that much else.
And I said this on the title weekend. I think this game is going to go one of 3 ways. Either it's a close game, like you said, or it's a blowout on either side. And I think it's going to be I don't see anything to worry about as far as the Bills' running game because Singletary is
the Bills'
fine,
running game.
It's not anything to write home about, and really, it's just their passing game, which again is, without 2 of their best, I would say, pass catchers. I mean, maybe you put Diggs in there, but again, Diggs is
you got Diggs and Dawson Knox, and those are both good players. But I mean, let's think about Dawson Knox. I mean, he's going to get Kyle Duggar,
right?
Devin McCourty on him or something like that. Okay,
who's a big hitter, and
he's probably getting Duggar.
Devin McCourty, who's had a really great season,
fantastic season. I love Devin. I think the Bills' offense will have a tough time today, and I mean, even they beat up on Carolina last week, but not by that much considering how bad Carolina was playing.
Yeah, it was not good for Carolina. And
what that pick that Josh Allen threw to Jeremy Chin was fucking so telegraphed. Everyone in the world, it was, and I love seeing it too because it was actually, ironically, the announcers have just been praising, Dawson Knox over Jeremy Chin. That's a matchup everyone likes. And then he threw right back to Dawson Knox on Jeremy Chin and got picked off.
I mean,
I
but you know what? The good news for the Bills fans is it's it's 47 here, but actually let me check the weather in Gillette Stadium. It's probably warm there too. It's 38 degrees, so it's basically dome weather. You know,
Yep,
Bills want to play in a dome. I mean, this is
they
great.
do. They want good weather. It's getting a little windy here in Dedham actually right now as we say this. I don't know what's going on in Foxborough. Um, Belichick may be playing with the weather machine this week. We don't know. We'll find out after the game, I guess. Buccaneers, Panthers, 1 o'clock. Sam Darnold is expected to play most of the game today. Okay, sure.
Yeah,
10.5 point spread. I'm going to take the Bucks. The Bucks will probably win by at least 10. I know the Bucks are missing Evans and Godwin.
right.
Uh,
They should.
They are activating Antonio Brown because everyone needs a friend like Tom Brady, and it's a good thing when it happens in Tampa Bay, and it's a bad thing when it happens in New England.
And if it happened in New England, he'd be going through a sexual harassment lawsuit. But anyway,
still waiting on that second story to drop.
But Brady's got to be motivated after last week's offer. I mean, he's got to be at least a little.
Brady doesn't play bad 2 weeks in a row. And I mean when Carolina's decent defense, not extraordinary, and they're a bad team with nothing to play for.
Well, at least
they got to pissed off Tom Brady with something to play for.
Well, Brian Burns did grow his leg back, right? I mean, after Mac Jones.
Yes, that's true. Brian Burns does actually still have his leg,
so that's a good thing.
Yeah. We got the Rams and the Vikings. I don't think Thielen is playing today. I could be wrong.
What's this 3 points? Well, that's a
3.5 point spread. That
I don't know.
Seems a little weird to me. Yeah. I don't know because I feel like that should be a much higher spread, but
the Rams are feeling themselves a little bit. I think the Rams are. Cooper Kupp, what a season he's having. I mean, nobody's really. I mean, I guess last week kind of put him into the discussion of wow, what a great season he's having. But he's been having a pretty good season.
Oh yeah, all year. Oh, that's one of the terrible Twitter takes. I got to touch on that.
Oh my God! Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get there. All right. But yeah, Rams Vikings. This is 3.5 point spread. Look, I think the Rams should cover this, but I have to say that something seems a little fishy about that spread to me. Vegas might know more than we do right now, but something seems fishy about a 3.5 point spread to me in that game. I do think the Rams will cover it, but something seems off there to me.
It's odd.
Chargers, Texans. This is a 13 point spread, obviously in favor of the Chargers. I don't know how much I like 13.
It might be 13 seems a little high.
13 does seem a little high.
The Chargers
they're going to win. They're going to win handedly.
Yeah, the Chargers in December are always. They're another team that's always a seesaw team in December.
Yes, very very much so. I'm gonna take the Chargers to win that. I'm not taking 13. We have the Ravens and the Bengals. 7 point spread. It appears that neither Lamar Jackson or Tyler Huntley will be playing, which means Josh Johnson will be starting for the Ravens. I was taking the Bengals either way.
Yeah,
I might not have taken them to cover 7 if Tyler Huntley was playing.
But both teams
with Josh Johnson, I think I'm going to take them to cover 7 points. What about you, Shaq?
7. Yeah, it makes sense for them to cover that. And I don't think both. I mean, both teams have the same record, but I don't really think that they're in the same caliber. I mean, the Ravens are. I mean, they've kept it steady, but now with Lamar Jackson, I don't really see them really doing much. I know they've got some good players, but I don't really see them doing much. And the Bengals, I mean, they have the tendency to bungle it up sometimes, but I don't think they
absolutely it's their history. But I don't think they bungle today. Because if anything, I think if this Bengals start to bungle, then Harbaugh will overanalyze and cost himself the game. Eagles and Giants. This is an 11.5 point spread. favor of the Eagles.
That seems a little high
J-
for me too.
it does. With Jake Fromm is starting for the Giants.
Ouch.
Yeah. So it still seems a little high, but I feel like I'm I'm not going to take it. I don't like 11 and a
I don't
half.
like
It
11.
seems a little
It's a
high for
lot.
me. I'm not taking that, but I still think the Eagles win this game handedly.
Yeah, I
I
could
mean,
see them winning by 8, 9, 10, but
uh,
yeah.
what a fucking slate of afternoon games we got today. Lions and Falcons. The Lions are starting Tim Boyle, I believe. Jared Goff is on the COVID list. For a 7-point spread for the Falcons, I'm going to take the Falcons to cover 7 on Dan Campbell's fan coach of the year right there, Dan Campbell.
I will
Media
too.
good guy hero.
I would not be surprised if the Lions won outright, though. I'll take the spread, but I would not be surprised if they won because the Falcons they're just another inconsistent team. There's so many of these in the league. I feel like I'm saying a broken record.
I'm going to take the Jaguars. I'm hoping for a massive James Robinson day now that Urban Meyer's gone, and because I really need it for my fantasy playoffs.
Jaguars
You're
and
listening in
wow. I mean,
Jacksonville.
you know the show NFL Follies that they have on the NFL Network in the off season. They should just
yeah.
just,
That's
just
they're just
rename
going to
this
show
game.
this game.
Yeah.
That's like next year's NFL Follies is going to be a bunch of this game. then we got, my God, this is such a bad slate
terrible.
of games today.
It's so bad.
Bears and Seahawks, 4:00.
No.
7-point spread in the Seahawks' favor. I don't even know who's starting for the Bears this week. I don't think it matters who's starting for the Bears. # fire Matt Nagy. The Seahawks are bad. This is got to be the end of Russell Wilson in Seattle.
For Russell, yeah.
This is the end. This is the end for Russell Wilson in Seattle. He's got to be moving on this year.
And it's very possible that DK Metcalf, I mean, for all the hype and fatigue and intrigue that he's gotten the last few years, this hasn't really been a good year, and a lot of that has to do with Russell Wilson going over. But I mean, the Seahawks are just like this game is not good at all. The
Seahawks should win.
They should win because they're at home, but that's all I'll give them.
Yeah. Then we got Broncos Raiders at 4:15. Should somehow actually mean something still, I think.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't even remember who I took in this game.
I take the Broncos. They just seem better to me than the Raiders.
I feel like I did take the Broncos. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Broncos, and then I'll double check with my ITL picks, and they might be. But I
know Drew Lock is not good, but they seem better to me.
Yeah, I'll take the Broncos. They're a weird team. They actually have a really good roster. The Broncos. When you look at the entire roster, they have a good roster. They just can't seem to figure out that quarterback position. It's a rather important thing. We got the Steelers and the Chiefs at 4:25. Travis Kelce is not active. Tyreek Hill will be playing, and so will the ghost of Ben Roethlisberger, who's been there all year. He's the haunted fucking Pittsburgh Steelers this year. This is a 10-point spread in Kansas City's favor. And everyone's going to call me crazy. But without Travis Kelce, to be honest, I took Pittsburgh in all my pools, mostly because I need something to separate myself if it happens. But to stick with that, I'm going to take Pittsburgh with the upset here. Pittsburgh is hung close in some of these games. And that defense is still not bad. TJ Watt has been getting after everyone. Joe Hayden boosted their secondary a little bit. I think the Travis Kelce loss is damning for a Chiefs offense that has not been themselves this year. The Chiefs have been winning games because of their defense.
Yeah.
Which is good for the Chiefs, but
He's basically their second wide receiver besides Tyreek Hill. So,
Well, and the Steelers, like, I mean, they keep having all these close games that they lose.
and this
Like
is another. This is Ben's swan song as well. So,
yeah,
this would be like a signature. Hey, goodbye type.
and now here's the other thing that's in my head with this is how much does Pittsburgh have to play for right now? Not much.
Not much.
Because Pittsburgh has to know that even if they manage to squeak into the playoffs somehow, which I don't even know if they still can, they might be able to. Even if they manage to sneak
in.
Tiny chance. Even if they manage to sneak in, they got to know they're not really contending. So what you have to play for right now if you're Pittsburgh, besides trying to sneak in, is you can play spoiler to some of these teams. And players like that. That's these struggling teams this time of year, they love going out and saying that they spoiled someone's run at the end of the year. You know what I mean? That's something they can at least hang their hat on. I'm not saying I know it sounds crazy. I'm going to take Pittsburgh to win this. I think the Chiefs are going to struggle today. I think Pittsburgh will have, like you said, one of those last swan song games for the end of Big Ben's career, because this is obviously it.
Travis Kelce is a big loss. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking that they're gonna have Tyreek Hill's gonna go for like a 90-yard touchdown because I swear to God, that's what always happens when I watch the Chiefs. And
the Patriots haven't gotten any help all weekend, so someone's got to help us, right? You'd think. No, they can't.
Or yeah.
Oh my God! And so this is like
just Thanos it. Just do it ourselves.
Yep, we're gonna have to. I like to want something done right. You got to do it yourself. Now, this is again what. So Washington and Dallas is the 8:30 game. I understand this game means something. I still, again, to talk about the flexing the games.
This spread should be.
Why is this prime time and Bills and Patriots aren't? We'll get to talk about more of that in the next primetime game. This spread seems a little high because I think Washington will win.
Really?
No, not win. I think Washington will keep it close. I think Dallas will win. I think Washington will fight.
Okay.
Is Heineke playing?
Yeah, he's playing.
Yeah, I think Washington will fight. I think Washington will keep this game close. And Dallas has struggled lately. I haven't been overly impressed with them. Dallas will win this game because they're a better team than Washington. They're just more talented. I don't think I like that 9-point spread.
To me, I think it should be a little bit higher because again, Dallas is just way better than Washington. But yeah, Washington is they're scrappy, so I could see it being real close.
Well, Washington likes to scrap, and Dallas is just I can't figure out their offense the last few weeks. And again, why the NFL doesn't flex some of these games? Dolphins and Saints is your 8:15 Monday night game. I am absolutely not staying up all fucking night to watch the Dolphins and the Saints. The Dolphins have been hot. The Saints are on Ian Book. Now they're fourth string quarterback. To me personally, if I'm the NFL and I can flex games, I wouldn't put a fourth string quarterback in primetime for his first start. Not just for the fans, but for the kid.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure. Hey, kid, don't worry. Your first start ever. I know you're just the fourth-string guy, and you're forced into this because everyone's hurt or has COVID. Don't worry. It's just Monday night, and the other team's got a playoff chance to play for.
No big deal.
No big deal, kid. God damn it. Yeah. I'm going to take the Dolphins to win that game. 3-point spread. I'm going to take the Dolphins to cover that 3-point spread.
Absolutely.
So I didn't think I had any, but me and Shaq discovered there were terrible Twitter takes this week. So we did have last week. We'll just start on as Cooper Kupp is the receiver that you all wanted, Julian. You all tried to tell us Julian Edelman is, and
First of all, that was coming from I think it was a Chicago reporter. I'm like, what? Like, first of all, why? Why?
I
Why do
don't
you admit this?
understand. I don't understand all this hate on Julian Edelman. First of all, I have to say this is a guy
Because he's a
that
Patriot.
all
That's
of
why.
you said was never going to make it in the NFL. This is a guy, by all accounts, should not have made it. And he made it, and he won a Super Bowl MVP, and he won several rings, and he's one of the best playoff receivers of all time. He's one of the most clutch wide receivers of all time. He's a guy you should all love, but you hate him because he played for the Patriots. You have issues. You've got issues. But I love Rams fans coming in, being like, saying, I don't know what having a Super Bowl ring has to do with skill. It's one of my favorite things. Dude, I'm old enough to remember that 2018 Super Bowl when nobody on the Rams could cover Julian Edelman to save their fucking life.
It was just 3 years ago. I mean, it's
He
not like
he took Marcus
recent.
Peters to the doghouse that night, dude. Like he took him out back and fucking beat him up. He annihilated Marcus Peters that night.
What did Cooper Kupp do in that Super Bowl? I don't remember.
Not much.
Oh, okay.
The Rams only scored 3 points. I know he didn't score a lot, but I know Edelman had 10 catches for 140 yards. It's a pretty good Super Bowl game. Pretty good. Then we got the fascinating four-letter network, ESPN.
And actually, not even ESPN, the network. It's ESPN Plus. So
ESPN Plus.
It's
the four-letter plus a mathematical symbol.
Yeah.
That Deflategate. First of all, I don't know how any of you don't understand how minuscule Deflategate was by now. First of all, the Patriots won the game by 30 points.
Yeah. The fact that it's still a topic in
they ran LeGarrette Blount ran down their throats. It didn't matter. The Patriots weren't really throwing the ball, so not like it mattered. And
like they had
sixth grade science proves that Deflategate is nothing. Now I failed science every year that I was in high school. It's a wonder that they let me graduate with my grades in science and math, and yet I still understand the science behind the ideal gas law. I don't want to turn this into a science lesson. So we're going to talk about how this apparently tainted a Cinderella run by the Patriots. A Cinderella run. Now, okay, first of all, the idea of the Patriots being the Cinderella team stopped in like 2001 or 2003 at the latest, right? Like at the most, at the absolute latest, I think it stopped after the second Super Bowl. This was after 3 Super Bowl wins, 5 appearances in 11 years, 10 years, 5 appearances in 10 years, 2 years off of a Super Bowl appearance, 1 year removed from an AFC championship game, with a completely rebuilt roster signing Darrelle Revis and fucking Brandon Brown, an absolutely loaded team. The 2014 Patriots were a wagon.
They were the number 1 seed.
They were the number 1 seed in the AFC. It wasn't a Cinderella. It's not a Cinderella run. They had home field advantage throughout.
and then she says it tainted the run. Tainted it. They won 3 more Super Bowls after Deflategate. So how could that possibly taint the run? It
wasn't really Cinderella. And I don't. There's a lot of things wrong with that take.
Yeah.
So then my last one, I didn't want to rip on all the Bills fans today. That's why we weren't going to do triple T's, because I realized that most of my terrible Twitter takes were Buffalo fans, and I was thinking that about 4:00 today.
Oh well, I have one that I just came up with. I have one that I just came up with.
What do you got? What do you got? This is always fun.
Well, this is from Bills fans, really. That that Bill Belichick is faking the COVID reports because.
Oh yes. This is.
Yeah.
You know what I like to say? If you're not using wildly unrealistic conspiracy theories to analyze football games, are you even doing it right?
No, not at
I mean,
all.
he's faking the COVID reports.
Look,
Shut.
I'm Alex Jones turning, the Alex Jones gif. Like that's what Bills fans are.
It's incredible. Um, and now, so my last one this is just one I had to touch on. This is this uh Bills fan who it was picture of James White and it's the player and then it's a what happens and it was the picture of the car accident that James White's father was killed in last year. And you were making fun of a player for his father being killed in a car accident. You are making fun of death. The only reason I am bringing this up because people like that do not deserve to watch the sports that we watch. You do not deserve to breathe the same oxygen that we fucking breathe. I say a lot of mean shit. I say some borderline offensive shit. And everyone who knows me knows that. And they just deal with that for some reason. I guess I told the line pretty good. I've never said anything. I would never make fun of death.
And
That
especially
is
for a guy who,
egregious.
for all intents and purposes, James White is probably one of the most loved, not just Patriots, but NFL players because of what he does for the community. And
Yeah,
and
he's.
and he gives away free tickets to fans pretty much every single week this season since he's been hurt.
I was
So,
just gonna say, how many pairs of tickets did James White give away in
yeah.
this game last night?
So
And I
like
understand that, yeah,
probably
he's
like
giving those ways to away to Patriots fans, but like,
but
hell,
those are Patriots fans who probably would never be able to afford
I
it.
respect the hell out of Stephon Diggs for pulling up to a McDonald's drive-through in
Yeah,
Buffalo and tipping them all $200. That's
that's
awesome to me. Like, I don't like that guy now that he did that, and he's a Buffalo Bill. But see, I'm a human. And I have compassion for things, and I'm not a fucking animal
Yeah, that's
who would
just
say something like that. That is just a disgusting thing to say. Ooh, N'Keal Harry is playing today. That's
I'm looking for a big
this
game
is
for
you
him.
know what this is it. I'm saying it on the show.
This is the game. Yeah,
This
because
is the fucking game.
last week he
This
had
is the
a
game we
good
have been
pass.
waiting for 4 fucking years with N'Keal Harry. This is the N'Keal Harry breakout game.
Yeah, last
This
week
is it.
he high pointed a good pass last week, and I think he's gonna improve on that this week.
I think he's gonna get his targets this week because of what from Mac this week because of what he did last week. Because of 2 big plays late
Yeah,
in that game. Actually, he had another catch before that. I gotta, dude. The last thing I'll say is that if we had a comeback win against the Colts in prime time in Mac's rookie season with playoff seeding on the line, fueled by an insane N'Keal Harry catch. My God, that would have been like crack. There's more of that borderline offensive shit that I say. Anyway, folks, thanks for tuning in. Again, this has been another episode of Blue Collar Game Day. I'll be back next week with somebody. Maybe not Diet Shack. Maybe it will be. Who knows? You can find Shaq. Let me see if I at Atomic Dog 1150
51-50
on 115150. All right, that was close.
Yeah, you were
close.
But also at Entitled Weekend. That's
I was just gonna say,
podcast.
check out the Entitled Weekend podcast that I'm on when I can make it and I'm not stranded at train stations in Boston. Let's not get me talking about that.
Oh, those commuter trains! Don't get me started.
That'll ruin my day. That's minus the weather is a pretty good day. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, folks. I'll be back next week.